Woo! All right.
Okay.
Countdown has started. All right. Under the duel rules, we will now decide our dueling style for the episode and then roll initiative in secret and see what happens.
Yeah, so are there people in the chat right now? Yeah, there are, I think. Oh, there's one person. So one person. I don't know if you noticed this. But Tyler put a something instead of something.
I spelled the word bad.
In his doodle for Keith Baker. So fun.
Yeah. My favorite part of that is that nobody's ever going to see the 6 pixels that represent the marker board behind your head in this video, but everyone in the Discord chat is going to see the very clear picture that you posted.
Yeah.
I feel like Dan is having a good laugh with all of these subtitles to our names.
Oh,
you can set your own, right?
How do I do that?
I did mine.
You just click
on it and you can change it. Dan's never set them for me except for that one time.
Well, I like it. It's all great to me. That's pretty good.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to confirm that my home thinks that my internet is the most important thing that exists. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is good.
I want to vex you with my wand. What are we in Curse of Strahd?
I mean, but like it was cool because there's martial there's weapon masteries. I'm almost called them martial weapons, but yeah, there's weapon masteries attached to my spell casting foci. That's exciting, right? Yeah, like I'm jumping
I don't know if that's specifically
ahead.
For the duels. Yeah.
Oh. Gosh, Gonk is posting in the Discord chat with a super pixelated view of the picture behind me that clearly no one can see. But look, someday part of this episode will be on video somewhere on the internet and maybe people can see it then.
Right, but the problem is that the way that these are subdivided is you still can only see just like half of it.
That's true.
Even without the pixelation.
It's fun.
Well, I think the entire video is actually will have it in it. It's just that we don't see it because of like our size. Like it clips the sides based on how big your box is.
Right. No, I know.
Which one of us? Yes. Proper response, Tyler. Delta, good to see you in the chat. Welcome. Who's
which
excited?
One of you is Keith Baker? Probably Tyler, I would say, is Keith Baker.
I need a cool hat.
Yeah. We need to get you a cowboy hat.
Wait,
Randall, do you have a cowboy hat?
I'm sure he does. I would be so surprised
Randall
if he didn't.
Keith Baker this episode.
Like it never would have occurred to me before that Randall James owned a cowboy hat, but now that it has become see?
Jesus Christ. But you're so pixelated. You're so pixelated, dude. Like seriously, you look like you're in witness protection.
Like there's not enough pixels for both you and the hat.
Yeah, you and the hat are dividing the pixels right now.
But honestly, it's a reasonable share.
It's a pretty great hat, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I wear this while I like do things like mow the lawn or work in the yard because it protects the back of the neck. Really fight off that skin cancer. Cowboy hats, super functional. They weren't always for you get me.
All right, we should do a podcast.
Well, I thought this was the podcast. What did you want to do?
I don't know. We could just hang out. How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that might be what the people want. Keith Baker's got some new stuff out. Welcome to the RPG.
I can just picture Dan in the background going like, "Dart, you idiots!"
I have to edit this.
I have to edit this. This is stuff I have to go through, jerks.
Or he'll just cut
literally
out the
living these emotions live.
Just the entire,
honestly, the easiest answer.
The entire cold open is just Ash saying, "I have to go through this, you jerks," and then right into the intro.
Yeah. But what he's actually going to do is he's going to fast forward right to the point where I say, welcome to the RPGBOT.Podcast. I'm Randall James, and with me is Tyler Kimstra.
Hi, everybody.
And Ash Eli.
Hey, does anybody know what time it is?
Go time?
Hammer time?
It's high noon.
Oh, because, okay, that makes a lot more sense. That was good. I liked that. Okay. Also, can't touch this. All right. This is better, Dan. We're podcasting now.
The energy is going to be high but weird
It's now
tonight.
officially in the podcast, so I don't think he cares.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm going to go and ask the question that I ask every time that we do this. Tyler, how the hell are you doing?
Doing great. I'm really excited about tonight's topic.
That's good. Do you want to tell people what tonight's topic is?
No? Okay, fine.
No, that was the podcast, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have a question of the week this week. Our question comes from, actually, we don't have a question of the week this week.
All right.
Why don't we have a question of the week?
Why don't we?
Everybody, we tried our best.
Look, because we're long-winded when we review things. That's why. All right. Tonight, we are reviewing Frontiers of Eberron Quickstone, the upcoming supplement from Keith Baker and his team. It launches September 17th to coincide with the Player's Handbook release. It's more Eberron from Keith Baker, and honestly, for people who like Eberron, which hopefully is everybody, what else can you ask for, really? So,
yeah, it's fun to do these kinds of reviews because, like, we're not really convincing anybody to go get the book. We're just telling you what to get excited about. And the great news is there is plenty to get excited about in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, honestly,
if you like Eberron and you like Westerns, it's a good book for you.
If
Honestly,
you want to get the first take I've seen of, like, hey, how are these new rules going to interact with third-party creators? Great examples of it right here. Let's go party.
Yeah, I do think we may be able to talk some folks into giving this a look if they weren't already planning to. There's some really cool stuff in here, even if you weren't planning to run an Eberron game. Like, there's some fun character options. There's some really cool monsters. The lore is neat. There's dueling mechanics, which we'll get into. Like, just if you bought this for the rules content, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's real funny that we just released an episode on dueling, and then Keith Baker comes in the door with like, "Oh, you guys want duel rules? Here you go." Just clowning on everybody else.
Yeah. All right. So folks who tuned in to the charity stream may have heard some information about this already. Keith Baker was very kind to join us for about half an hour while he had some time at DragonCon. Gave us the inside scoop, a little bit of a preview on Frontiers of Eberron, and kind of like what is the premise of the book. So we'll recap that, since I can't imagine the entire internet watched us in the live stream.
What?
I mean, most of it.
Most of the internet.
We made the national news, international news. Random podcasters do a 24-hour live stream of Baldur's Gate 3 to the entire world. 9 billion people tuned in, and they all 9 billion people tuned in. It was the biggest of it, bigger than Taylor Swift, and they only made $2,000 for charity.
Yeah. I can't believe we got Rihanna to do halftime. Like, that was the part.
That was crazy. Love you, Rihanna. She will sue you for that.
For loving Rihanna?
Wait, Taylor or Rihanna? I don't know which.
Wait,
I think both. Probably both.
Wait, they'll both sue us for loving Rihanna?
No, Taylor Swift will sue me for saying that our event was bigger than her.
Oh, all right. Eberron, focus on that. So Ash hit this a little bit. The title of the book is Frontiers of Eberron, Quickstone. So from what Keith explained to us, the idea for this book was like every previous Eberron book, like all the official ones, all the DM's Gold ones, every book for Eberron that has ever been published focused on either a huge part of Eberron or on Sharn, which is like the New York City of Eberron. So it is the biggest city. It's already a huge thing on its own. So for this book, Keith wanted to focus on something a little smaller and a little further to the fringes of what we already know and love about Eberron. So he chose literally a Wild West area in Eberron. Quickstone is a small Wild West style town in the middle of a semi-settled frontier between one of the five nations and then the monster nation of, I think it's Droam. I should have written down a pronunciation guide. The nation where all the monsters live and decided, you know what, we're going to have a civilization. Everybody be cool with this. So it's this really fantastic spot for telling stories because you have all of the core humanoid species living in one side of the frontier, and then all of the monsters who decided to form a society on the other side. And this is kind of the like unsettled no man's land in between, and all of the political interactions that brings, plus this fantastic Wild West aesthetic, but also the like wide magic, arcane technology look and feel of Eberron's. Like, you have those spaghetti Western tropes of like high noon duels, but instead of pistols, it's wands. You have like literally the sheriff of the town of Quickstone is a warforged whose name is Constable. Like,
don't you be messing around in my town.
Yeah.
You hear?
Just the theming is absolutely fantastic. And the fact that Keith and his team were able to carve out so much in what is like this tiny little strip of land on the map of Eberron, like it's just really cool.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of the mechanic stuff before we, I guess, get into some of the more setting-based stuff and adventure stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody's here for. This is RPGBOT, not
true.
Lore Podcast. Although we have been doing some of those lately.
Lorebot?
Lorebot. Yeah, Lorebot. So the first thing that you'll find in this book is, so Keith Baker added some weapon properties for the 2024 rules for wands and staves, specifically for arcane duels, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, so wands have the vex property, rods have the slow property, staffs have the push property, and orbs and crystals have the sap property. And it can only be used when the character casts a cantrip that requires an attack roll.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything that adds weapon mastery to caster classes, so like this is going to work really well for like Eldritch Knight fighters, arcane tricksters, those characters towing the line between spellcasting and combat. And I just like it. It's so interesting, and I really want to play with this.
Yeah. Should we talk about the duel system? Because it's really cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's funny, we just released this duel system, and I feel like we talked about which duel system is the best when we said 5e kind of sucked. I think Keith Baker just clowned on everybody and was like, this is the best. Here you go.
Yeah.
Rescued immediately.
It's fantastic. I think it even beats the Pathfinder 2 ones. It's so good.
I agree.
So basically the way it works is each duel takes place in 5 different steps. The first step is you set the stakes. So there are 3 different types of stakes: pride, first blood, or death. And basically what the stakes are equates to what the result of the duel is. Now this kind of duel is going to be different from like something like Pathfinder 2 where it's like, you know, there's a back and forth and you're like fencing with each other. This is strictly like spaghetti Western duel. You take a shot and whoever gets hit first, that's kind of the end of the duel. So it's one shot and you're done situation, unless the stakes are that you want to go longer than that. But we'll get to that in a second. Then you have the style, which is everybody picks a dueling style. There are currently 4. There's 5, steadfast, quick, overwhelming, weird, and disruptive. And they each have their own benefits and drawbacks. Like, for instance, steadfast will give you something called allow you to re-roll a fault die that your opponent can give you in the course of, say, a duel. And they also have advantages against others. So it's kind of like a complex rock, paper, scissors situation. Like steadfast is good against quick or disruptive, and quick is good against overwhelming and weird, all that stuff. So then you get into the actual duel, which is the stare, which is when you're staring down your opponent and the camera shifts back and forth between the 2 perspectives, maybe narrowing in on an eye as you sort of frown and size up your opponent. Your hand just going to your trigger finger, you know, that kind of stuff. That's the stare. Very cinematic. But the stare, in terms of mechanics, asks you to declare it. You roll initiative. The person who goes last declares what move they're going to make first. And then the person who wins an initiative then declares their action. So basically, you get to see what your opponent's going to, the advantage of rolling higher initiative, you get to see what your opponent's going to do before you get to respond. And this is another sort of rock, paper, scissors situation that give you certain advantages, and certain actions counter others. So you can choose like twitch, show off, bluff, look, eye of the beholder, see through them, sage advice, tactical analysis. We don't have time to go through all of them and what they do, but Just know that they can like give your opponent a fault die, or you gain a trick die, and we'll go over what that means in a second. But each one of the actions has a skill check you have to make, and it's a competitive check, so it's a contested roll. So whoever rolls highest gets the benefit of their action. And the key is that certain actions counter other actions, which means if you pick the action that counters your opponent, you get to add a D4 to your roll for the skill check. So for instance, let's say Tyler rolls lower than me. He picks Twitch, which is, let's see, hold on. Good against. Oh, I got it. Okay. So, which is weak to see through them. So if I have good insight and Tyler has picked Twitch, I'm just going to go with see through them. But the disadvantage is maybe I'm not very good at insight. Maybe I'm a charisma person and I dumped wisdom. So I'm just going to go with show off instead. So yeah, it's got drawbacks and advantages. But essentially what you're doing with this is you're trying to build fault dice for your opponent and build trick dice for yourself, which then culminates into the shot, which is you roll initiative, and then each duelist reveals their style, which gives them certain benefits. And then you roll one spell attack each, adding any bonuses that you get from any bonuses and penalties you get from your style, your fault dice, or your trick dice. So a trick dice gives you an extra D6. Each trick dice that you have, you can get multiple. And fault dice makes you remove 1d6 from your attack roll. Whoever has the highest wins. And then the score is based on the stakes. So if you picked Pride, the loser loses a hit dice, and that's it. Unless you are skilled in like one of the schools of magic, you can give them different like penalties based on which school of magic you pick. Like necromancy makes you poisoned for a minute. First blood just reduces a person to half their hit point maximum, rounded down. And death, you just killed them.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a real cool system. It has a lot of setup and cinematic value to it. All of these different stacking bonuses and penalties really add to the strategy element of it, culminating into the climactic single shot. And yeah, I don't think you could have asked for a better system to portray a spaghetti western style duel. It's real cool.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Like,
yeah.
You don't even need to use this with wands, which is kind of what it's intended for. Like any ranged weapon, hand crossbows, daggers. Like you can make this work for just about anything.
Yeah, just
really good.
Or just use guns.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that this that is specific to wands and magic is you also pick. And you don't tell your opponent what level you're going to cast your magic at. And if you cast higher than your opponent at the time of the shot, you get more bonuses to your roll. So that's cool. But you don't have to use that. So
it's real cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's a great system. Thanks, Keith Baker, for putting this down right after we finished our duel episode. Darn it.
All right. So we've got duels. Every one of Keith's DM's Guild Eberron supplements has included new character options. So we got some cool new stuff in this one as well. Now we went subclasses first, which I guess that does match with the 2024 rules. I'm still not used to subclasses, like classes and subclasses being first. So like my brain's all jumbled. So we got 6 subclasses. We're not going to dig into them in a ton of detail, but I gave them a good read and they're pretty cool. First one, Path of the Demon Shard Barbarian. Now, Demon Shards are like a big thing in the Eberron set. The core mechanic of the subclass is retaliatory damage when you or a nearby ally takes damage. So it's very high risk, high reward. You're encouraged to get hit so you can deal the damage for free. It's cool. I like it. College of Wands Bard. Keith told us about this one on the charity stream. He was saying they have a Wandslinger subclass for bards because bards seem like they could be really good at this. And they kind of are. The entire subclass is focused on dealing massive amounts of cantrip damage with one shot. Does it pretty well. Scary good with shooting somebody with a cantrip. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, Commerce Domain Cleric. I think this one is my personal favorite of the 6. It's got this really, really cool mechanic. You know how the Diviner Wizard has Portent and they get 2 at the beginning of the day? It's not really a useful comparison, it occurs to me. So you start the day with divine coins. You get 2 by default, and it grows as you gain levels, but you use those coins to fuel your features, but you can also take bad things to get more coins. So like the initial effect is spend a coin, add 1d4 to one of your saving throws. If you want more coins, you can willingly suffer minus 1d4 on a saving throw and get a coin. And there's other stuff like there's healing mechanics where like you can spend a coin to damage an enemy, or you can damage yourself to gain a coin and heal nearby allies at high levels. So like it's a really fun resource mechanic.
Is this going to lead to like an inverse like bag of rats thing though, where like
yes.
Hit me. Okay. Yeah. Good. That's where we're headed.
Yeah. It is super vulnerable to the bag of rats thing. So just as a DM, just cap the number of coins that they're allowed to have, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Or just don't let them do the bag of rats thing. Be like, no, that doesn't work that way.
What am I?
You need to be you need to be an actual danger, not from rats. Come on, man.
All right. The Bloodhound Ranger. So they're really good at tracking and then killing a single creature that they define as their bounty. Like you get to do cool stuff like casting any of your divination spells on them, regardless of range or line of sight. Conveniently, Hunter's Mark is a divination spell. So like you declare someone you're tracking as your bounty, you cast Hunter's Mark on them without seeing them, and then Hunter's Mark gives you advantage on survival checks to track them. So like there's a fun mechanic there. You get bonus damage when you fight them. Like it's cool theming. I'm not sure if it's super strong, but it is a pretty cool theme. And
I guess if you were engaging with the setting, though, that would be tremendous. Of like, I'm literally taking up a side quest to go find this guy out in the desert. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically a bounty hunter. So, and that's
exactly.
That's incredibly on brand for this setting. So,
yes.
Or somebody's been kidnapped and tied to the magical train tracks.
Yeah. Snidely Whiplash.
All right. Nemesis Sorcery Sorcerer. So this one, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'm not 100% clear on the theme. I was reading for mechanics and lost track of it. But it focuses a lot on readying actions to cast spells. So it may just be like you're prepared to kill your
You're specialized in arcane duels. That's what it says. So that's
that makes
why.
Sense.
Basically, they have a picture of, I'm assuming, the sheriff. He's a warforged with two wands shaped like pistols. So yeah, I think that's what they're going for. Is it's just another kind of like real good at the arcane duel situation. You're a gunslinger or a sheriff type. Yeah,
that feels right. All right, and then the last one. So this one ties in very, very heavily to the theme specifically of Quickstone and some other stuff in this book that we'll get to later. The Stone Sovereign Patron Warlock. So all of the mechanics are around turning stuff to stone, including yourself. Like at one point, you get the ability to willingly petrify yourself as a reaction in response to taking damage, and then you get immunity to bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, and you become unpetrified at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, this subclass rocks.
It's pretty dope.
That was good.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a cool theme. It definitely fits the adventure super well. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, backgrounds next. So we got 5 new backgrounds. Keith told us about this on the live stream too, like as they were adapting to the 2024 rules, because they've been working on this for like 4 years apparently. So a ton of this was written before we got the 2024 rules and they had to adapt. So they looked at the previous implementation of dragon marks from Eberron Rising from the Last War, where dragon marks were effectively your race. And they looked at that and said, okay, that doesn't make sense in the new 2024 rules. We're not going to have like a version of human that's dragon marked for this house and one for this house, yada, yada, all that. But backgrounds make a lot of sense now that they give you a feat. So there are 3 backgrounds that make you dragon marked. Each of them get you the Manifest Dragon Mark origin feat. And yeah, just manifesting a dragon mark is an origin feat. It all works super well in the new rule set.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. And like that, the structure is going to feel supernatural. And honestly, I'm hoping this is a model for how this gets expanded over time.
Yeah, I totally agree. We also got a Magerite background and a Wandslinger background. So Wandslinger is basically just you're a soldier that uses wands. Magerites are a huge thing within the setting. They're part of that like wide magic concept where low-level magic is broadly available to everyone, but high-level magic is rare. So mage rights are the ones going around making like the magical street lights and building lightning rails and all those things. Like they're the workaday mages. So you could start out as a mage right wizard and like that is a character I want to play. Like that's it. I'm happy. Like I was a paper pusher once upon a time. Now I'm out here in the Wild West doing wizard shit.
Sounds very much like a Tyler character.
Yeah.
All right. Basically your life story, right?
Kinda. Yeah. All right. We also got 6 new species. So like folks familiar with me and with this podcast know that I wrote Monstrous Races way back when. I think it's been like 8 or 9 years at this point, honestly. So we got 6 new species. They were all playable monsters and, you know, they did good. I'm happy with these. So we got the gargoyle, the gnoll, the harpy, the Medusa, 7 new versions of tieflings. So I guess you can't really count that as a new species, but like we only got 3 versions of tiefling in the player's handbook. This gives us 7 more and they're pretty cool. And then the warg. The warg is really fun because wargs famously don't have hands.
Skipped Warforged as well.
I think they just reprinted the stats for Warforged, though. They're exactly the same. Well,
yeah, but I think the thing is because it's updated for the 2024 rules. So now it's...
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, updated Warforged. So yeah, like there's some cool stuff in here. I really like the gnoll. They managed to keep the rampage mechanic. So if you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, or if you hit a creature with your bite on your turn, as a bonus action, you can move and then make another bite attack. So it's like they really encourage you to lean into that hyper aggressive bite everybody gnoll thing.
But as a bonus action, I can do this, right? So I can't chain of events. I can't get through my whole bag of rats in one turn. That's what I'm.
that is true.
Okay. Just checking. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I have to go back just a moment to the Commerce Domain Cleric. In this case, it really is an inverse bag of rats trick because I could just have each of the rats in the bag bite me so I can get new coins.
Yes.
Okay. We can carry on now.
I mean, for some of the features, like you still need, like for the baseline feature, you need to make a save, and I don't think rats can make you make a save.
Okay, I need to engineer special rats.
What you need to do is you need to find a friendly troglodyte. Troglodytes have an aura around them that smells so bad that you have to make a Constitution save or become poisoned until you leave the area. So you just walk in.
That's kind of an ask, though. It's kind of an ask.
To
find a friendly troglodyte.
Okay, sorry. I got excited about rats biting me. We can keep going.
What a statement.
Yeah, that's a weird statement that you just said.
All right, we also got 15 new feats. We're not going to go into all of them, like just a couple of my favorites. Obviously, the Dragon Mark Origin feat is cool. I really liked the feats that focus on using different arcane focuses, because like right now, they're functionally identical in the official rules. A wand, an orb, doesn't matter. A staff is useful because you can use it as a quarterstaff, but like honestly, you're not going to do that for the vast majority of characters, so that doesn't really matter either. So it's purely aesthetic. The arcane focus specialization feats introduced here provide some interesting, unique benefits for each type of focus. So like wands, they're really quick. Rods, they're like slow and punchy. I'm just going to pull up one of the feats. Give me a moment. So staff expert. First benefit is called Arcane Artillery. I'm immediately sold. When you cast a spell that has a range of 5 feet or greater using a staff as your spellcasting focus, you can use a bonus action to double the range of the spell. Pretty cool. Powerful focus. When you roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage die for a cantrip you cast using the staff as a focus, you can re-roll the die and must use the new. So re-roll low damage, extend rage as a bonus action. And then third benefit, explosive casting. If all targets of a spell you cast using a staff are more than half of the spell's range from you, one creature of your choice that you hit with a spell attack or that fails a saving throw against the spell has the prone condition. So like you can knock somebody prone just because they're slightly further away. Like it's pretty cool. It feels unique. It adds a couple of buttons to push. Like I would take this on an evoker. This would be great.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. We got a few new magic items as well. Like the DM's Guild page says 15, but I think that's like a woefully small undercount. I can say words good. There's a whole bunch of them in here. Like there's a whole new category called symbionts. Apparently, Okay, so there's these things in Eberron called Dale Kier. Like, if you know Eberron, you know what these are. They're basically evil spirits from the realm of nightmares that want to drive the universe insane. Bad dudes.
Okay.
But they can make these cool things called symbionts, which are living symbiotic magic items that sustain themselves by attaching to you.
Wait, so do we let them stay because they make these?
The Dale Kier? No, we can't keep them out as much as we try. Like,
Okay.
in the...
At least they bring some value.
Yeah. Like when we had Keith on the podcast, like he explained, like there's a bunch of different ways that Eberron could just end. And one of the options is the Dale Kier get in. They're bad dudes. They're one of the big bads of the setting, but they do make these cool things. Like one of the symbionts is called Living Stone Skin. It's a living suit of functionally full plate armor that can petrify itself in response to physical trauma.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa, the art that he has for it is pretty rad.
Yeah. Page 182. Randall.
Yeah. I mean, it is worth saying 182.
182.
Okay, give me just a second.
It's like you have a second arm. Real weird.
Okay, I think I'm looking at it. This is it almost looks skeletal. Like I took a bunch of bones from like a dinosaur exhibit and I piled them together to completely cover myself.
And it has eyes and it has an extra hand.
Yeah.
So it's basically for those of you who don't have the thing, it's a guy's arm flexing, and he has on this like armor that is like Randall described, that goes from his shoulder down to his arm, and then part of it comes off right near his hand and forms a bigger stone hand with claws on.
I almost
It's
interpret
so
that as like
rad.
in action, where like the fist is being made and then the armor is like wrapping around the hand to protect the fist. I don't know if that was the intent of the art, but it's almost right. I'm going to make the analogy. I feel like the analogy is pretty obvious, right? But thinking of Venom, of like Venom coming out and coating.
Yeah. What's his face? The dude who isn't Venom. Yeah.
I'm just gonna link it. I'm gonna link this
We are
art
Venom.
in the podcast because it's rad.
Yep. Oh, okay. So these items all have a symbiotic nature entry explaining what they need for you to sustain them. The armor can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. That's immediately a problem. If you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, your attunement to the armor ends and it detaches from you. The armor requires fresh blood to be fed to it. Immediately after you finish any long rest, you must either feed half of your remaining hit dice to the armor, round up, or take 1 level of exhaustion.
That is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some players out there. It's like,
rough.
I never use hit dice. This is fine, but
Yeah. I mean, it's effectively +1 plate armor that gives you resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So, like, it's pretty good. Like, I don't know if it's good enough for that, but
yeah, at a certain level, this is going to fall way off. But it doesn't matter. You'll be dead by then anyway.
It is really good because, it gives you +1 to armor class. You have resistance to the non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. And when you take 20 or more non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage from 1 damage roll, after accounting for your resistance, you're petrified until the end of your next turn. So it basically nullifies all that damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to ask though, is that worth it?
I think so.
I don't know.
Is a timeout till the end of your next turn?
I think so. I think it's
Maybe
pretty good.
to just be immune to the damage you're about to take. Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking 20 or more damage after resistance,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would rather just be out of commission for a turn than take that damage, honestly.
Yep.
Nice. That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
All right. So there's a bunch of other magic items. There's troll gut rope. That's cool.
Go on.
This is dumb. Okay, so trolls famously can regenerate. Intestines, kind of like nature's rope.
Okay, keep going.
I don't like where you're going with it.
No, that's
I mean, the logical connection is pretty obvious. Troll gut rope is literally just troll intestines used as a rope. They have the wonderful ability that if they're damaged, they'll heal themselves. If you cut them, you can just stick them back together and they'll figure it out. So, like, it's this really, really durable, sturdy, convenient rope. And everything is perfectly fine until it takes any amount of fire or acid damage, and then it's basically just regular rope.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, what happens if? And the answer is, yeah. Okay.
It stops being cool. That's the answer.
All right, that's fair.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I would want to vomit anytime my rogue pulled this out. It's like, look at this. Look at how jiggly they are. Isn't that great?
I mean, it looks woven. It looks more rope-like than intestine-like in the art, for what it's worth. Okay, I do want to say we've called out the art a couple times. The art is beautiful. I really like the art style. I'm having a hard time figuring out how to describe it. It's soft.
Yeah. That I could. Yeah.
Somebody do better.
I will say. So the image that's right after the troll guts. His arm looks weird.
Oh,
it looks like it's backwards.
But it's not somehow like, okay, so this is still a DM's Guild publication. The art is rarely going to be as good as official first party stuff because like the budget is way smaller. But like, given that, it's pretty good. There's a few pieces that feel a little bit off, and it seems like there's one artist doing all of the character art at the very least. So like the style feels very consistent. The characters feel well designed. And like there's a new set of iconic characters that Keith has been using in his work for a while. Like you might recognize the dwarf with the like symbiont. Yeah. I don't know what this guy's deal is, but I'm pretty sure he sees through that weird tapeworm thing sticking out of the back of his neck.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah.
No, the rest of the image is very cool and creepy and ominous. But man, his arm is weird. It's weirding me out. I don't understand.
I think the problem is just his wrist is too thick.
No, like when I try to imitate it, like it seems like it should be right anatomically, but it just doesn't look right for some reason. I don't know why.
I swear, it is just because his wrist is so freaking thick.
Yeah, his forearm is basically just another bicep.
Accurate.
And also, you have somebody like imagine just muscles on muscles. That you're imagining that at home. Cool arm tattoos. You're imagining that at home. The mustache looks exactly like you expect it to. Carry on, Tyler.
Really does. All right. So let's look at the monsters because there's some cool stuff in here. So there's an adventure at the back of the book. It references monsters in Eberron Rising from the Last War, Tome of Foes, Monsters of the Multiverse. Like you're going to have to pick up a few different books, unfortunately, because the Eberron monsters were published officially in a bunch of different places. But there's also some new ones here. There's a few NPCs. There's information about the Dale Keir. There's a named Dale Keir named Orlask, who will come up again later. And he's all about stone, rock and stone, and petrifying things. Like that is his
rock
whole
and stone.
Deal. Yeah. He is not a dwarf. He is not digging a hole, tragically. But boy, this guy sure likes stone.
Wait till
there's a named Fey Lord. There's like this really cool, unique form of giant. There's new forms of gargoyles. There's this cool merchant thing. Where to go? Merchant of Misthaven. So, Randall, the merchant in that one Resident Evil game who shows up in weird places and is creepy but sells you stuff.
What are you buying?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that, but also a CR20 Fey.
Both. I'm pretty sure the guy in Resident Evil, same deal.
Okay, yeah. I found the best art in this book, if you're curious, by the way.
Which one?
Go on.
196.
196. All right. That is...
okay.
Yeah. The Demon Glass Champion sidebar.
That looks dope.
Yeah.
Props to the artist. I'm sure that's where all of your art budget went to, was that image. But worth it.
That does feel pretty cool.
Very
well
cool
invested.
Yeah.
I really like the art for the King Greyfinger on page 203. It's like very creepy Fey and like a gold mask, like long claw fingers. Like, yeah.
Okay.
This is just an NPC you can walk up to.
Okay, I have art next, but it's not because it makes me happy.
Okay.
Oh, that is like a cross between a dragon priest from Skyrim and Freddy Krueger.
That is a great way to describe it. Yeah.
100. Yeah, no, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, you nailed it. Okay. I want to do mine. I want to say it was on page 198. If not, it was close.
I'm going to link all of these images in the podcast Discord, by the way, Chad, if you want to check them out.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm on the right page. The Dull Ghoul, which is on page 197.
197.
Yeah. That is some.
Oh, yeah,
What is this?
Not
What is
sure.
this?
Yeah.
I
How
don't
did
know
this happen?
It's an abomination.
Folks, I'm going to explain this
unto
to you
the
at
Lord.
home.
Yeah.
What if I want to build a centaur, but hear
Mhm.
me out. I want, instead of having a human top, I want it to have a bat top, but I don't want to hear the bat talk. So what if I just like put skin over the mouth
Mhm.
and beady red eyes staring you down? That's what's going on up here. All right. So that's half the mullet. Let's talk about the party in the back. The party in the back is a dinosaur beak coming out of the centaur's chest.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's a generous way of placing it. I would say the dinosaur beak is coming out of his crotchal area.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not his chest, buddy. That's
I know.
where his-
Yeah.
You're right.
Also the humanoid upper half, one arm is a cleaver made of bones, and sir, not pictured in this film. The other arm is a claw on a chain, also somehow made out of bones.
How do you see that? It's cut off by the stat block.
It's described.
Yeah, you read the text description.
Oh, okay.
Tyler, that's the snarkiest way to possibly answer that question. Not. I felt good about it's in the text. You read.
Sorry.
You know what?
I
You know
do.
what, Tyler? That's what I say to you.
That's appropriate. That is an
Wait, is
appropriate
that the symbol
response.
for give you a second to think?
Ha
Couldn't
ha ha. Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to be that snarky. But okay, so this thing actually has pretty cool lore. So early in Eberron's in-world history, goblins were sort of in charge, but they served the Dale Kier, like goblinoids and the maddening demon nightmare lords, whatever. So bugbear cavalry was a whole thing. Bugbears riding wargs. So the Dol Ghoul is kind of a knockoff bugbear cavalry made by that Dale Kier we talked about, who likes stone. Basically, this is a petrified bugbear atop a warg that went super bad. And then
This is an abomination unto nature, is what this is. Like, what did they do to this guy? Jesus.
Like, it was born this way. It was never anything else. It was made to be awful. Yeah. Where's the CR on this thing? CR4, so like not insanely powerful, but yeah, that is some body horror.
You could have this in your next game with no explanation.
You could just have it show up. What was that? No one knows.
Let me show you the art. Carry on.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go back to this merchant for like 30 seconds. So the merchant comes with like a full page of lore with like in-world fairy tales about this character. And it's all your classic, like, somebody dubious shows up and offers you something of incredible value to you at kind of a vague price that you know is going to come back to bite you, but you kind of take it anyway because it's real cool.
You stole my idea, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding. I had a whole NPC in one of my campaigns. His name was just the shopkeeper, who his store had nothing on the shelves. And basically people be like, what do you sell here? He's like, I sell ideas. And basically it would basically say, what is it that you want? You'll pay me in something that I decide later. At one point he sold a person the concept of regret.
Interesting.
For a price.
I had that already.
Huh? Yep. He also saw. I had them do a side quest where he was trying to get this one guy to sell his own death to him. Like, he wanted to buy the guy's death, and yeah, it's a interesting concept for a character. So
yeah,
that's cool.
One of my favorite merchants that I've seen in a TTRPG was in Merkborg. I cannot remember the name of the merchant. The name of the merchant might have actually been the merchant. It also might have been Jonathan. We'll work through that in a second. I'll look.
I think it was just the merchant. Yeah.
Okay, that feels better. That's probably right. The premise of it's like, the dude's dead. If you kill him, he'll come back and he'll be angry with you and he might not sell you stuff anymore. And then there was this whole horrible backstory about what happened to this character. Yeah, it fit the setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love characters like that. My shopkeep's motto was, everyone leaves with a product. It may not be the one that you came in to buy, but everyone leaves with a product.
Huh. All right. Let's see what else is cool in here. So there's steel horses, which is neat. Weirdly, no rules for how to use them as a mount. There's a template that you can apply to creatures called Stoneborn. So that same Dale Kier can animate any statue and make it a living thing, or can also turn a petrified creature into a Stoneborn, which is like a completely living entity.
A lot petrification stuff going on in this book.
Yep. It's kind of this guy's whole thing. And then you start getting into the stone cultists, and you're like, wait, this is too much petrification. What's going on here? And then just as soon as you start getting really nervous about all that petrification, we hit the adventure at the end of the book. Feels like ominous timing, right?
Nice. Okay, so we should talk about the adventure. We're going to talk a little spoiler-free, and then we'll figure out if we need to talk spoilers, but we will warn you ahead of time. I'm not actually saying for this for the folks at home. I'm making stern eye contact with Tyler.
I haven't read any of the adventures, so I'm excited to learn about it.
Okay, I had to speed read it because planning for a podcast. So the adventure starts at level 1. So like this is an introductory adventure. If you're new to Eberron, if you're starting a new campaign, this is a fantastic way to acclimate people to the setting, to introduce them to the themes, and also just like drop folks right into the Wild West aesthetic. Fantastic. So it starts at level 1. You will finish the adventure and then reach level 5 at the conclusion. So you're playing essentially 1 through 4. In a lot of ways, like this will feel like your classic D&D adventure. Like there's going to find stuff in dungeons, there's meeting NPCs and negotiating, there's fights with monsters, there's magic, there's ancient tomb and mines full of monsters, and like all those classic tropes. But also you're based in a Wild West frontier town where like the only medical attention you can get is either from the party or from like the frontier doctor, effectively. Like
it's just a dude with a bone saw. You made choices. Yeah. So he knew it wasn't worth investing in the medicine skill in 5e, so he didn't.
just proficient in crafting, good enough. Carpenter's tools, I don't know. So like without plotting or without spoiling the plot too much, the overarching plot is there's a monster sealed somewhere, the seal is breaking, and the party gets dragged into fixing it, because if they don't, everybody's going to get petrified. Now, from what we have said earlier in the episode, I think you can guess who our antagonist is.
Who could it be?
Yeah. So
the weird crotch monster?
You do actually fight. I think you fight 2 of those in the final fight of the entire adventure.
Weird crotch monster.
Dole Ghoul. Let's see. So
ways.
the adventure all right, now we're gonna get into the spoilers, because like that's really all I can do without spoiling the adventure. But adventure starts. Players are on a lightning train, a brand new, like this is the first ride on this lightning train route. So like you're going to the frontier, you're going to go someplace, you're going to make a name for yourself in what is sure to be a growing place. And then it gets worse.
Okay, just folks at home, it's a cool book. We recommend it. There are links in the show notes if you're looking for it. If you were purchasing it through DM's Guild, if you were to use that affiliate link, that helps support the podcast, and we really appreciate that. If you do not want to be spoiled on the adventure, we've appreciated you spending this time with us. And if you kind of want to hear more, hang out. We're happy to be here with you. Yeah. Okay, Tyler, I did the thing.
That makes sense.
Oh,
wait, okay, don't go yet. Ash has a funny.
No. I just want to. I feel like me and Keith share a brain cell on a lot of things, because I opened a steampunk game in a similar fashion, but it was an airship that was attacked instead of a train. So,
well, I mean, that's kind of a classic opening. You're on your way from A to B, and then stuff gets worse.
No. I just think it's funny. It's the way that me and the way that I think the same way as Keith sometimes. It's very funny. Anyway,
I will
that's
say...
not me stroking my ego, by the way.
I will say Keith apparently didn't write the adventure. Like, he has a whole writing team that works with him and does different parts of the book. I'm forgetting who actually did the adventure. I'm trying to stare at the credits to jog my memory.
Some credits.
There almost surely is.
Preface.
I think it may have been Imogen Gingle. I think that's right, but don't quote me on it. Like, Keith did a thank you to all of my team post thread on Twitter today.
Oh, here.
So go check.
Imogen is credited on the cover. Like, it's Keith Baker and Imogen. So.
Illustration, special thanks from Keith.
Not that confirms what you said, Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that Alex D'Amico wrote it.
Possible.
Because he's credited as additional writing. I'm going to guess that it's probably Alex D'Amico. Well, Alex, great choice for an opening. It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic because it works. All right,
Yeah,
so
it works real well. Sets the
Adventure-
stakes really well.
adventure opens on a train. The train is attacked by kobolds and also gargoyle. They attack the conductor of the train, steal a dagger from the conductor, and then I believe they do actually kill the conductor. And then the train goes off the rails, basically. Like it starts having trouble.
Literally.
Yeah, so you have to attempt to stop the train, and it is entirely possible that you fail to stop the train, fail to jump off the train in time, and smash headlong into a wall, dying with everyone aboard the train. So immediately, session one.
Okay, well that's different. That's that's definitely okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it.
You'd have to mess up pretty bad and pretty consistently to not actually stop the train. But it does tell you what happens.
My Pathfinder 2 steampunk game group would like to have a word with you, sir. 'Cause, man, I have never seen a group roll worse than they do. Because it's like there were at one point I think there were 10 or 15 natural ones over the course of 2 hours.
Wow.
The only thing worse than their rules was their decision making.
Have you considered
No, their decision making was on purpose. Was on point, but their rolls were so bad. And so they even had hero points. I gave them hero points, but every time they used them, it would turn into a nat 1.
Nice. Do you want
All
to? I want to acknowledge Delta's comment in the chat. Is the conductor a Warforged called Conductor?
That would be on brand, but then you'd have to ask yourself, like, wait, are they a train conductor or an electrical conductor? And they could say, like, I was an electrical conductor back in the war.
Or maybe they're an orchestra conductor, and they got hired for the wrong job. I'm not that kind of conductor. We don't care. You're conducting a train
Just
now.
wave,
But I'm not
wave the wand. That's how the train works. You want the train to go faster? Pick up the tempo.
All right. Conductor. All right, I'm trying to find. Now I'm curious. What was...
If your party asks what the conductor's name was, tell them it doesn't matter. He's dead now.
His name is Keith. You know, it doesn't actually say, or at least I can't find it quickly. But anyway, it's in here somewhere. It does not appear to be a Warforged named Conductor. I can at least promise that, kind of.
That's too bad.
Okay. Feels like that would have stuck with you.
Oh, the section subheading for the encounter on the train. It's just called inevitable. It's just called inevitable attack! !
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Yeah, you do get to fight on top of the train. Yes,
of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yes. Rad. I'm aboard.
So I'm still learning genres. Would we consider this pulp?
Oh yeah,
a variety.
Have you played any Eberron? It's all pulp. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's usually pulp noir. This is pulp western. That's essentially what we're going with.
Yes.
Stoked.
All right. So there's a fight on a runaway train. You maybe save the train. Hopefully. You hopefully save the train. You arrive at the train depot, hopefully intact, and you are greeted by Constable, the local Warforged sheriff, whose response to you is essentially just in a monotone voice, "What's all this then?"
What's all this then?
Yes. So he's like, listen, you're going to the station and I may or may not arrest you. And then he forces you into the plot. So like the adventure is a little railroady. There are some sandbox sessions where you get to poke around and explore the setting, but it's very clear like A to B to C to D plot. So not a big sandbox. You immediately have to start investigating a collapsed mine, like literally the next morning. Constable comes to you and says like, hey, the mayor's like, hey, there's a mine collapse. You guys seem competent. Go check it out. You go in, you find the seal on the tomb of a Dale Keir, who you eventually find out is Orlask, that stone enthusiast Dale Keir. The seal is deteriorating, which is allowing Orlask to gradually influence the nearby world more and more, which is bad. So
it's not what you want.
Yeah, so you get sent on the inevitable fetch quest to gather the keys, which are like a special kind of metal weapon, come back, temporarily go into the demi-planar tomb of this Dale Keir alongside an orc druid who reforms the seal. Meanwhile, you have to fight the gargoyle from that train fight who now has superpowers, and also the crotch hobgoblins. What were we calling them?
Dongul?
Donguls, yes.
Pop Goblin.
I'm gonna regret that one, aren't I?
You are. You're absolutely gonna regret Crotch Hobgoblin.
No, you're not. It's great.
Yeah,
they
like
live forever in our hearts.
like there's a few short dungeon crawls. You get to negotiate with NPCs. Almost all of the NPCs outside of Quickstone proper are traditionally monsters. So like you get to meet Medusas and harpies and goblins and orcs, and like they're all like, yeah, we're just people living here, and we have these things that you need to take from us, and we're going to need you to do stuff to get them. Like all those classic D&D tropes. The final fight is really cool. You're in a demi-plane fighting across a series of giant petrified hands, and it is entirely at the conclusion of the adventure. Like the boss fight, you have to either kill all of the enemies or survive 10 rounds, whichever comes first, which is a stupidly long fight in 5e. And at the end of the 10 rounds, the orc tells you
10
like...
rounds?
10 rounds, yeah.
That's long. I've run battles have gone longer.
Yeah. So at the end of 10 rounds, the orc shaman who's remaking the seal says like, okay, guys, we're good. Time to get out. You have 1 turn each. And if you don't get out, you are permanently sealed inside the demi-plane with the Dale Keir, who's probably pissed.
This is real rough.
Yeah.
Real rough,
like the adventure
for the first 5 levels, this is a real rough adventure.
Very high stakes, yeah.
Yeah. I will say I do like that they put on the map how far each of the arms are from the position, from the point of view.
Yeah.
So like the big hand in the center is 0 feet, and then you got a hand that's like 30 feet down, one that's 20 feet down. Yeah, no, that's real helpful.
Yeah,
like
a lot of verticality in that encounter, which is really fun. So like if you're good at jumping or if you can fly by whatever means, you're going to have a lot of fun here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or you're going to be miserable. One of the two.
There's only 2 options, I guess. Yeah. So, like, just in general, this feels like a great introduction to the local setting. The adventure doesn't seem super complicated. So, like, no one's going to get stressed about getting lost in the plot or anything. The encounters don't seem insanely difficult. So, like, you could throw this at new players and they'd probably do okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would run this. I would play it.
I would also run this. I know I said that I don't want to run 5e public games anymore, but you know, if it's Eberron, I could be persuaded.
Yeah,
we didn't read the fine print. We didn't read the fine print. There's a disclaimer at the front. This is a spoiler, everybody.
Okay.
Disclaimer: by reading this booking, you are implicitly accepting a gift from the merchant of Misthaven. In exchange, she asks only for the memory of a delightful moment from one of your earliest tabletop role-playing sessions. As you are reading these words, she has already taken this memory. So enjoy the book and the new memories you will make in the days to come.
Okay.
That's quite cute. I love that.
That's real good. Oh, I'm so sad. They stopped doing those disclaimers in the 2024 books.
Now, why'd they do that?
I don't know. Like, it was always such a fun little like thing at the beginning of the book, and it costs them like nothing. It costs them nothing to include that, and they stopped. They're not in the 2024 Player's Handbook. Makes me
Where's
sad.
this disclaimer?
It's in the credits, very bottom right corner. So page 3 in the PDF.
Page 2.
Page 2 of the book, but if you're looking at the
PDF.
I
got bad, man. Okay, what you said is technically correct. The best kind.
Yeah, the only folks who I've ever seen manage to always have the page count and the PDF page count line up, Paizo. Only Paizo. So yeah, that's it. Oh gosh, one other fun bit. At the beginning of the boss fight, like that gargoyle lady shows up, and one of the lines of text right before it goes into a block of read aloud text. Diorite, the Grey Lady, voice of Orlask, has arrived to give her villainous monologue. And then it gives you a list of plot points that the players might have missed. And like, if they missed any of this plot information and they're still confused, just have her relay this in the monologue.
Perfect.
I love this. This is great. There's also a little thing
that's good writing, honestly. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but when was the last time you had players that let your villain do a monologue?
That's fair. That is fair. One of the things she's supposed to say is like, haha, you've done my work for me by opening the seal. And like there in parentheses, it says, they haven't. The players have bested her and she is making up for it. Like,
yeah,
that's funny.
See, I'd love to be able to use a villain that monologues, but
Yeah.
I have not found a way to do it without my players being like, I hit the guy.
Just do it from behind total cover or in complete darkness.
So the wall of forced monologue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, players hate that.
Yeah,
I have done the in combat monologue where it's like, look, it's my turn, not my turn.
I'm gonna monologue at you. Yeah, no, that's how I've done it. The other way I've figured out how to do it, astral projection is fun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then players will try to dispel magic. Like, I'm gonna dispel this guy. Shut up.
I've been working on this plot for 4 months. Please just listen to the next 3 minutes of speech.
Players, I'm going to make this plea to anybody who's listening to this who's a player. Just let your DM monologue with the villain. They're saying goodbye to a character that they've worked on for a long time. Just give them their moment, okay? Yeah. I promise you'll get to kill the guy.
That's why we put them there.
You know what?
That's why we put them there. Just let us say goodbye to our character, okay?
Idea for a house rule. If you let the villain finish their monologue before you interrupt them, everyone in the party gets advantage or inspiration.
I like that. I mean, the
heroic inspiration. It's 2024,
thing that I found also works is I've noticed that a lot of my players, they'll like try to take that first strike while he's monologuing, and I used to let that attack go through and then roll initiative. So I train my players to interrupt people. So instead, I'm like, oh, you're making an attack? Well, we're rolling initiative, and you are committed to that action now.
Yeah.
You cannot change it. You told me you're going to attack him. That's what you're doing, regardless of whatever the circumstances changed. You started this, so that's what's happening.
That makes sense to me. Like, rules as written, that is exactly how it is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Is the compromise, though, that the villain, wherever they rolled an initiative, is going to keep doing talkie-talkie?
I didn't say anything about that. I don't have to follow my own rules.
Beautiful.
I'm just kidding.
That is how the game is meant to be played.
No, I'm just kidding, of course. I mean, if he goes before the player, then yeah, obviously.
Yeah. All right, folks. So if you're still with us, all the things that I said earlier are actually still true. There is an affiliate link in the show notes. If you were to go purchase the book, that does help us keep doing this podcast, and we do appreciate it. Also, support Keith and his team. I think that's a good idea too. This is it's cool product. I think in particular, I want to reiterate what I said at the beginning. Adding the backgrounds, expanding, I know, the weapon master use was kind of meant for dueling. I would say generally just seeing somebody look at that and say, look, we can do something creative with these new rules. I love that. Yeah, I think this is a great example of some really cool third-party content to come for 2024 rules.
Yeah, I like this book. I mean, Eberron is a really cool setting. I think it's one of my favorites of official campaign settings for D&D. Yeah, and like Randall said, buying it supports us and helps support our friend Keith. Keith's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think his team worked hard on this and they deserve it.
Yeah. I feel like, one thing we haven't said yet. The book is 256 pages.
Yeah, it's quite big for a third-party supplement. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and
you get a lot with it, like the dueling mechanics, backgrounds, the races, the subclasses, and adventures. It's very cool.
Yeah, it is a fantastic value for the price, and there's a ton of cool stuff in here. Like there are a couple of things which I'm still looking at sideways. Like, I'm not sure if these character options are balanced. Like obviously the bag of rats is going to be an issue with the commerce domain, and
I was looking at it. I think you're wrong. I think he has counted for the bag of rats, because the only other way you can gain coins besides failing a save or like reducing the save is you have to damage yourself with an active thing that you're doing.
True.
It's not like you just tell someone to hit you. And again, rats can't force you to make a save. So
that is true.
That's not an exploit you can do.
All right. I will find a way, because that is who I am as a person. But
of course you will.
Correct.
Yeah. As with any third-party content, if you're going to bring it into your game, make sure everyone at your table is cool with it. Consider making house rules if you're worried about balance. But otherwise, like the themes, the concept, the ideas, the novel mechanics in here, there's just so much fun to be had here. I'm just absolutely thrilled with this book. They knocked it out of the park. They did so good.
And if you like Westerns, here you go.
Yeah.
I can't remember another Western type of like supplement that has been released for D&D in a long time. So
Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Well, obviously, Pathfinder 2 has Alchemy Star, but I was talking specifically about D&D.
4-5. Yeah.
Yeah, for 5e.
All hail the Leisure Illuminati.
Hail.
Hail. I'm Randall James. You'll find me at amateurjack.com and on Twitter and Instagram at jackamateur.
I'm Tyler Campster. You'll find me at RPGBOT.net, slinging wands. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, RPG, BOT, DOT, NET, and most other places as RPGBot.
Well, howdy there, cowpokes. I'm here filling in for Ash. You can follow him on Twitter at Craven Ashes, raising hell and taking names. And if you want him to run you cowpokes a nice little cozy game for you, maybe this, who knows? You can hire him on startplaying.games, link in the doobly-doo, my friends.
I think doobly-doo means the show notes, just for folks at home.
Indeed. I wish I had your cowboy hat. That would have been a nice addition. Yeah, why don't you tip the cowboy hat for me, Randall? Ma'am.
Yeah, nailed it.
Milady.
Cool. Ugh, that's the wrong kind of hat for that.
Yeah.
Take it back.
I will not.
If you've enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and rate us on Spotify or your favorite podcast app. It's a quick, free way to support the podcast, helps us to reach new listeners. You'll find links in the show notes. You'll find affiliate links for source books and other materials linked in the show notes, as well as on RPGBOT.net. Following these links helps us to make this show happen every week. If your question should be the question of the week next week, please email podcast@RPGBOT.net or message us on Twitter at RPGBOT.net. Please also consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can find all kinds of great rewards. At any tier, you'll get early access to RPGBOT.content, polls for future content. At our $3 tiers, you'll enjoy your choice of ad-free access to RPGBOT.net or ad-free podcast episodes, access to live stream podcast recordings. At our $5 tiers and above, you'll get all of that, plus access to the RPGBOT.Discord. You'll find us at patreon.com/RPGBOT. Want a cool shirt, sticker, cowboy hat? Visit RPGBOT.store.
They don't sell hats. We don't have hats on the RPGBot.store. I know that has been requested frequently. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you boy. I don't think this podcast is big enough for the two of us.
All right. You want to meet at noon?
Yes, I do.
What time zone?
Okay. Well, get out your calendar. Let's see if we can figure out. I'm booked this week.
I got a dentist appointment next week. I got my podiatrist on the next Tuesday.
I got booked for a possession.
Possession.
Yeah.
What they?
I don't know if they're coming. I don't know if they're coming or going, but it's gonna be a good time either way. I tell you that much.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, I can pencil you in for next Thursday if you can.
Okay.
Get away from the misses and the ball and chain.
Here, you do that, and I'll call you if I'll call you if it doesn't work out. We'll find another time. Okay.
You called me. Do you have my digits?
No, I'm just gonna scry on here.
It's 2024, gentlemen. We're gonna duel on Zoom.
All right, we're gonna duel on Zoom, and that's what it's gonna be.
All right,
man. Have you had that avocado toast? It's man, the things are coming up in California. I swear to God. No offense,
right.
Texas.
Yeah, I think we killed the bit. Let's do it.